Hello, sysfailure here again, and today we're looking at Snapshot 14W26B, pretty much because A had horrible bugs and B came out literally about half an hour afterwards, something like that. Could have had this video up maybe about an hour ago, but I thought just for you guys I would wait and see what the extra secret hidden feature was. And well, I think it was worth the wait, and rather mysteriously, it's actually hinted at in the patch notes, but I'll explain that in a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is actually not look at where I am at the moment. We're going to wander out to the menu and show you a little test mode that's now in existence, which is really useful if you're somebody who's working on like texture packs or block models, etc. So let's hop out and have a look at that. So we're going to create a new world. Let's call it anything we like. Let's say debug, that'll do. Just create it. Right. In the world options, we have world type default over here. You notice you have default, super flat, large biomes, amplified, customized, back to default. If you hold down shift while cycling through these, after customize, you get world type debug mode. I'll turn structures off. I don't know if that affects it, to be honest. But if we create a new world now, here it is. Right. There's actually a whole bunch of barrier blocks down here, so I'm not falling to my death. But what this world does is, I'm not sure what that hole's about. That's probably air block. Yep. This world generates nearly, apparently it's not 100% yet, like fences and redstones are not quite perfect, but this world generates nearly every single possible block type combination. So like in examples here is dust, different power levels, fire, which actually has different stages, rotations of signs, tracks, doors, etc. It does look kind of cool because it goes on for miles, but you will notice it's actually not as huge as you might think. So what, like there's, well, it's double imaged, but there's the lava there, and there's some more there. So only so it goes that far. And what we got? We got cactus to cactus. Yeah. So it looks great. There's not actually as many bits in as you would expect, but it's pretty cool if you're doing textures and want to have a look and see how they are. There's no updates in this world, so you won't have to worry about stuff screwing up. Sort of melting, any of that sort of stuff. Yeah, there we go. So that's pretty cool if you're working on block models or textures. Ooh, our little friendly Amble. That's all this world really exists for. If you were feeling a bit crazy, I suppose, you could go in and edit the level data so this was actually a playable world that you could do various things in, but from what I've heard, this thing becomes extremely laggy if you do that, because there are no world updates at all. But it will start having random block updates if you enable that. Anyway, let's hop back out to the other features I want to show you now. Right, so back in this little world. First thing, in regards to furnaces. Furnaces now, if you have a look at that, won't accept anything in the bottom slot unless it's a form of fuel. So coal, wood, wooden tools, that sort of thing. See? So you can still put anything you like in the top, but not in the bottom. So if you do have any sort of devices that are relying on, say, comparators or whatever, and you sort of fill certain amounts into both so it can output it, well, you can't put anything in the bottom now, other than fuel. However, you could fill the bottom with fuel and then put something non-smeltable in the top, say like stack of redstone, and you can still use that effect. So now it only takes fuel, and oh yes, it also takes empty water buckets, as I missed it in the last snapshot video. But if you have a wet sponge and you dry it up in one of these, if you've got an empty water bucket in the fuel slot down the bottom, it'll put the water back in it. So that's kind of cool. Next little thing, press this button here, you'll notice the comparator is turned on. Now if you're testing stuff, that command basically if you were building an adventure map or whatever, is now stuck like that. You have to destroy this block and replace it with the command to make this work again. Well, not now. If you hit this little button in here, it disables it, so it no longer exists. We do that, comes back on, do it again, and it goes off. So it basically resets the true or false state of the block to just be false. Also, when this is on, like that, it will show what the output is. But in the X mode, you will get no output showing if you go in and look at it. Sorry, I have to go down on that. There we go. So it doesn't show anything there. So I don't know what real use it sort of has in regards to not showing what goes here, but it is quite cool for turning these back off again if you're building a map and I just try to test things. For some reason my frame rate plummets looking over there. Don't know why. It's however odd. Anyway, this area doesn't seem like being recorded, which is bizarre because I just got a new graphics card twice the power of the old one, and it's doing a little 30 odd frames a second. Weird. Right, next up is this little thing. For a magic trick, I shall now attempt to turn water into milk. Ta-da! Success! Let's do that again. Just put a water bucket in there. And now it's milk. What this actually is a new command. Let's head to the beginning here, which is replace item. It can target entities such as the closest player or sysfailure in regards to myself. And it can also target blocks. And it can replace items in various parts. So in this case, I'm targeting the first slot on the hotbar, which is 0. You can also target inventory, horse inventories, armor slots, inventory slots in chests, ender chests, etc. But it's replacing the item that was in that slot, which in this case happened to be a water bucket, with a milk bucket. And that's how we got that. It does allow other mildly entertaining things though. I say mildly entertaining, quite entertaining. In the respect that it doesn't have to actually, replace an item. It can replace nothing. So you can do stuff like this. Haha! Yes, so I've got a whole bunch of command blocks under here, and what they've done is they've given me a bow, that's an enchanted one, and it's kitted me out with some diamond armor there. That's pretty cool. Happens every sort of time you run over it. So if I was to move this to a different slot, whoop, I now have the second infinity bow, which is nice. So what else have we got? Well, you can probably notice there's a world border over there that squid seems to be determined to try and kill himself in. Well, there's been a little command added to that as well, so let's shrink this down. So if we set the world border 10 blocks, whoop, it's a bit closer than expected. Now we can actually add, so if I add 10 blocks over 10 seconds, it will now add 10 blocks onto the size. So every time you run that command, it will take whatever size the border currently is and add 10 blocks to it. Now, a couple of points about that is there's not a remove version as far as I'm aware, not that I can find. So there isn't one that can shrink it by 10 every time it's run. And also disappointingly, what I tried to do was, in the case of things like the ultra hardcore with the borders, the border's constantly shrinking. Say you had some sort of device you could activate and it will push the border back a little bit. You know, you push it back 50 blocks and then it keeps shrinking again. That doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. It just takes whatever command was previously running and cuts it off. Which is a shame because that was would have been kind of cool to constantly be able to delay the border, but in the end it's still encroaching. So, what else have we got? Final things, I think. Right, a little bit of a cut there because it seems there's a bug where these fill clocks stop working when you unload and reload the level. Claims something about minus 178 or something, which doesn't make any sense, so that's clearly a bug. So I've had to reactivate these. Right, so the new feature, which I believe is a hidden feature and is what I was sort of waiting to upload once it was found out. If this is not the hidden feature, then there's something else. But this is a feature that's primarily useful for map makers. So let's demonstrate it, shall we? There we go. So I'm wearing diamond armor, which we all know is quite resistant, so I must be quite heavy. Let's see how heavy I am. Am I heavy enough to damage grass? Yep, I appear to be heavy enough to damage grass. And I'm turning it into coarse dirt. But I want to see me damage grass. You know, sand's fine, but oh, grass, really quite damaging. Let's see what else we can get up to around here. Well, that over there looks suspiciously like some sort of speed pad. Let's see if it is, shall we? Yes, it is a speed pad. Woohoo! Ah, we've slowed that down again. Oh, no, there we go. Hey! And we're off again. Hey! Yeah, so what exactly am I up to? Well, if I slow down for a moment, come on. There we go. Right. Where are we? Well, that's the clock, so we'll look at this one. Okay, what it is actually a new part to do with the execute command, and that is detect. So this execute command is executing all entities at the moment. And it's detecting that the block here, which is y-1, in this case is Minecraft grass of type 0. And then if it is, it's just running the command, which is set block 1 underneath it, and it's setting it to dirt 1, which is the coarse dirt. And I just have one round the back that when it detects grass under my feet, it causes explosion particles to go off. And that's just why when I walk on this, it does that. I've had to put them in a certain order because if you swap these around, it won't work just because of the positioning and how stuff works. So the one that turns grass into the coarse dirt will happen before the explosion one, so you neglect the explosion one. Don't know why I'm there. A bit jerky. And then this one round here is another fail clock. And this one is the same, it's just detecting, but in this case it's Minecraft of glowstone. And this one's just giving me the speed effect. And the one round here just gives lots of fireworks spark particles. So if I was to actually just go stand on this, that would happen. Until I actually get off of it. So that is pretty cool. And the detection can, as far as I'm aware, sort of detect, well, any range really. So you could have some sort of map where if you're, say, pressed up against a wall, you become visible and enemies can't see you. But if you step away from a wall, then they can. So it would just be detecting blocks to the side of you. You need, what, 4 of them? Yeah. 4 of these, so you could detect on each one of your sides, and then it would just give you the invisibility effect as long as you were standing next to a wall. So there are plenty of uses for that, other than screwing around with dirt. And I tell you though, trying to record for this snapshot is really horrible. Maybe related to these running as well. There we go. So that's 14W26B. Snapshots after this apparently mostly going to be bug fixes. So it looks like they said 1.8 is hopefully going to be soon, but I'm sure they might squeeze another couple of features in. Hoping for another one of those sort of sneaky 1 a week hidden features, just like the define one. Right there. Detect. I'll get that right eventually. The detect one. So yeah. Anyway, as per usual, thanks for watching and bye-bye. Is that the witch you've been chasing, is it?
Yes. How much health do they have?
Quite a lot. They can also use healing potions on themselves.
Ah, got her. I have a curse of slowness, but...
But you have succeeded.
I have.